Hey My Hero Academia fans, today we are continuing our series where we take My Hero Academia characters and ask ourselves, what would their team be if they were a Pokemon trainer? Today we're talking about Bakugo, but before we get into it, if you like this video or the other videos that I'm pumping out, I want to encourage you to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Also, check me out on Twitter. There's a link down in the description. So, like my previous videos, I have a few core rules that I stick to when coming up with a team for a character. First, Bakugo can't have more than one starter Pokemon. Second, he can't have more than one legendary. Third, all Pokemon that is given to him will be in their final evolution. And the last thing is, Bakugo can't have more than one Pokemon from a generation. With that being said, let's do this. Typically, when I do these videos, I come up with traits, characteristics, or simply just random things that I want to base Pokemon off of for this particular character. So the first thing I want to base things off of for Bakugo is his quirk. Unlike my previous videos, this characteristic will get to different Pokemon. When it comes to Bakugo's quirk, there are kind of two aspects to his quirk. First is his sweat. He needs to sweat in order to be able to set off an explosion. This immediately got me thinking about nasty and smelly Pokemon. Pokemon like Muck or even Garbodor. But there was one that stood out a little bit more to me. A Pokemon that is all about being slimy. And that is Goodra. Goodra is a slimy dragon. I think this is a great aspect for the sweat of Bakugo. Now that Bakugo is sweating, he can create a huge fire-based explosion. So, of course, we have to get him a fire type. We just have given him a dragon, so let's not give him Charizard. The Pokemon that I think of right off the bat is Typhlosion. I really don't know why. I feel like I've seen people on the web think that he's a good Pokemon for Bakugo, and maybe that's why that I naturally think that this works for him. So there you have it, Typhlosion for Bakugo. Now when it comes to Bakugo, he is overly aggressive. He says things to Deku that even some of the worst people in real life would never say. I mean, Bakugo actually tells Deku to go kill himself. This is aggressive. This is a nature that's aggressive. An aggressive nature that seems unnecessary, but it is just part of who Bakugo is. It is unnecessarily aggressive. So I would give him a fighting type Pokemon for this category. Usually when I come to a category, I scour through different generations to find the perfect match, but I came up with one immediately. Primeape. When I think of Primeape, I'm reminded of the old 90s episode when Ash first catches Primeape. It was certainly an overly aggressive Pokemon. As a child watching that episode for the very first time, I couldn't help but to think that Primeape was certainly going to kill someone. And hey, it's a kid's show, so we know that's never going to happen, but I was a kid, so how was I supposed to know? But I hope I made my point. Bakugo and Primeape would be a good pair. Do you know what else Bakugo is? He is rude. Bakugo thinks more about his own feelings and doesn't care if he says or does something that affects the other people that are around him. Due to this, he comes off as a very rude person. When thinking about this, I thought of Delibird, but that Pokemon is more of a thief than one who is rude. Then I thought of Farfetch, but again, that is more because he was a thief in the anime. I don't know why my mind kept going towards Pokemon that are known as thieves, because Bakugo isn't known as a thief or as a villain. So I kept thinking, and I came up with Scrafty. I just feel like everything about him screams rude. I feel like Scrafty's design was based off of an 80s punk rocker. I'm surprised they didn't give him a leather jacket and maybe some metal chains. Ultra Sun's Pokedex entry even says, this Pokemon may be rude, but it takes very good care of its family, its friends, and its turf. I don't think we need to hear anything else. Scrafty is a rude Pokemon. Now, what's interesting is, even though Bakugo is overly aggressive and quite rude, many would agree that he is one BA character. It must be his demeanor, his cool quirk, and his awesome character design. Now, there are a lot of BA Pokemon. What comes to mind is Electivire. I've always thought Electabuzz was a super cool Pokemon, but when Gen 4 came out, Electivire was one of the few new evolution designs that stood out to me as just pure awesome. I mean, just look at this dude. He looks like Electabuzz took steroids or something. He is so BA. Now, the last thing that I want to base it off is him being haunted by the idea that All Might had to retire because of him. This very thing shook Bakugo to his core. It caused him to pick a fight with Deku and even break down crying on the battlefield. This moment of his life truly haunted him, so I wanted a ghost Pokemon. I came up with Mimikyu for a couple reasons. First, it was one of the few options that was left that would fit into my preset rules. I mean, I had thought at one point to use Chandelure, but due to what I'd already picked, that just didn't fit anymore. And then second, I think with Deku being the main character, I would see him being like Pikachu. You know, because Pikachu is the main Pokemon, the mascot Pokemon. So Bakugo picks a fight with Deku, and as we already know, Mimikyu has many problems with Pikachu. I just feel like it makes sense to me. So there you have it. Bakugo has Goodra, Typhlosion, Primeape, Scrafty, Electivire, and Mimikyu. I think this team fits him well. But what do you think? Do you agree with me, or do you think something else? What team do you think that Bakugo would have? Whatever your thoughts are, make sure that you leave them down in the comments below. I want to hear what team you think Bakugo should have. Unless, of course, you agree with me, then just let me know. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. And we will see you guys next time.